It's the new year. I'm sure we're all setting goals. We have our scheduled out for the next 6 months. Are people in place? Who's leading it? I don't get to always be the leader, and yay, I'm so glad. I want everyone to rise up. We've got a group of us that are really taking a hold of this journey, and we're super excited. So thanks for coming on this morning and being with us. Today, we are going to talk about one of my most difficult journeys in life. You know, you could be like a success in so many things, and then you're like, have this one area that you're like, why can't I overcome this area? And so today, it's going to be about gut health. Actually, it's going to be about weight loss and about what is kind of attributing to weight loss and why we can't lose weight and setting goals and just things like that. That's going to be our topic for today. And maybe you're the skinny mini girl, Julie Stark. Sorry, I'm just pulling her out here. I know she knows so much. She has so much information. Maybe you don't have that issue, but there are so many people that have that issue. Weight loss, setting goals. And I have a special guest with me too that's going to do a little bit of sharing. Let's get started on our journey. I am Shelly. Thanks for joining us. And my husband is Tom. You usually see Tom's face, not my face. I always tell people that he roped me into it. And so he has to be my tech guy for everything now. He has to make my slides up. He has to do everything for me because I said, you wrote me into this and you're going to be my partner, my silent partner in this, as I am your silent partner that everybody doesn't know. It was so funny this morning. People are like responding. They're like, thanks, Tom. And I'm like, they have no idea who is actually responding to them. So this morning, we're going to talk about this journey called weight loss and how it pertains to gut health. I've showed this slide before, but taking good care of yourself is one of the best things you can do to help others. Now, I don't know about you, but have you ever been on the airplane? And they're always saying, when the masks fall, if they reach a certain altitude, whatever, what do? You put your mask on first. Why is that? Because if you aren't taking care of yourself, you are no good to anybody else. I just want you guys to know that it is so important for us to take care of our own selves first. This year, I'm going to be a person who I want to set goals for myself. I've always been a goal setter. Like at the beginning of the year, I'm always saying, hey, what are we going to do? Are we going to set some goals? I think it's really important. And people always say, oh, well, you know what? Why do I even bother setting goals? Because I never follow through with it anyways. But at least you're doing something, at least you're starting this journey off right. I'm going to do this. But the problem with most people is, and I'll tell you a little story like about Tom is an all or nothing kind of guy. He will either be one way of doing nothing or his opposite way is, okay, I'm going to lose 20 pounds and I am going to run 5 miles every day. And I'm going to, not eat this or not eat that, whatever. And about the second day into it, he like just stops doing anything. And my philosophy is, I'm like, I'm just going to walk up our hill today, just once. Maybe I'll walk it up maybe only 3 times a week, not every single day. So I just set little tiny goals for myself. It's kind of the type of person that I am. So what are some little tiny goals? Maybe it's drinking water. How many of us can actually incorporate a little bit more water in our lifestyle? A funny story behind that is our daughter. Okay, our daughter would never drink water. She loves the enzymes. That's what we're going to be talking about today, but she would not drink water. And I'm like, girl, if you would just drink some water, your coffee is not water, okay? It's a diuretic, all right? So don't be telling me that kind of crap. So drinking water. So the other day, her friend was really concerned about her, and she's not like a overly motivated person as far as like, I'm a gym rat. She bought her this big thing of water and it tells you a time and how many you should drink. You should drink 2 of these a day, right? And she doesn't like the plain water. And so in it had the top of it, it had where you could put lime or lemon or orange and she goes, well, my friend bought it for me, so I guess I'll do it. And I'm supposed to drink 2 of these a day. Well, she said to me the other day, she said, oh my gosh, Mom, I woke up this morning and I was craving water. And I started laughing and I said, Well, that's because that's what your body needs is water. So it was just that little bit that she did that actually totally changed her way of thinking on just drinking water. So anyways, that's just an example of how we can incorporate just one little piece of goal setting in our daily lives. Exercising, fasting. Tom and I are choosing to do and I'm not telling you this because I'm like, woohoo, look at me. We're choosing to do a fast for the first 30 days of January. For Tom, he's doing a different type of fast than I'm doing. I'm doing a fasting where I only eat one meal a day. He's doing like a no protein and he gets a little bit of protein, but he looked at me the other day and I put some chicken on my salad and he goes, well, you're not supposed to have chicken. I said, no, wait a minute. I'm doing my fast. You're doing your fast. Whatever way I do my fast, you don't judge me and I'm not judging you. Maybe it's meditation. I want this year to be different than the last couple of years. And so I am really meditating and praying and saying, Lord, what does 2022 look like for us? And with that, I'm doing just a meal replacement shake. So I have a meal replacement shake in the morning. And then I have one meal, like a salad or something like that. So it's really an external/internal. A lot of times we're focusing on the beauty of the external, but the problem is that if we're not working on the inside of ourselves, that beauty isn't going to be very beauty on the outside, because we really need to know what it is to work on the inside of our bodies, get those cleaned up. What do most people face? They face gut issues. Why do most people have weight problems? Most of it has to do with gut issues. 74% of Americans, they battle with gut issues. 136 billion is spent on GI conditions. That was just from a census in 2019. It's been 2 years ago. I don't even know what it is now. I would hate to actually even find out what it is now, but that's the only thing that I could find. So it's important that we understand that the gut is actually connected to the brain. What are we doing about our gut? If our gut isn't in good condition, if we're not putting in the right amount of good food into our bodies, you know what? Our bodies aren't going to do us any good. What are some of the most common conditions? Bloating, diarrhea, food allergies. I'm sure everybody knows so many people that have these issues. Arthritis, depression, autoimmune conditions, weight loss, hormonal imbalance, constipation, acid reflux, inflammation, gout, lack of energy, weight gain, thyroid disorders, migraines. There are so many. I just touched on the iceberg of common conditions. The problem with those common conditions, if they're not dealt with in the gut, and most of it is coming from the gut, then it leads on into other serious conditions. Some of those serious conditions are like ulcers, gallbladder diseases, celiac, hemorrhoids, IBS, diverticulitis, Crohn's disease, colon, liver, pancreatic cancer, so many things. But all of that leads to another horrible, horrible pandemic. And that is, we thought that the pandemic before with COVID pandemic, actually obesity is a real pandemic in our country. According to the CDC, the obesity has tripled since 1970. So if you think about that, I was born in 65. I'm 56 years old. So that's roughly 55 years ago. I think 50 years. Sorry, my math is not so good. So it's tripled. 71% of Americans are overweight. 71%. That's like almost 100%, right? I mean, 71. 40% of those people are obese. So that means 1 out of every 3 are obese. Children, the ages of 2 to 19, 19.3% are obese. That's really, really sad. We need to get a handle on this, and we need to actually step up and start being the example to our children, to our grandchildren, and show them a different way. 2019 obesity pandemic, it went up by 35% in most cases. That was a year and a half long, about a year and a half. It went up 35%. It does a state-by-state study. All of this is Google information. It's on the CDC, it's on Healthline, it's on all of those things. You can research all of this. I just did the research last night and I was putting together some things and I thought, oh my gosh, this is really sad. We need to do something about this, because if it's tripled since just in my lifetime, what is it going to be in the next 50 years? Are we going to be at 100% in the next 50 years? That's actually really scary. I woke up this morning and I just have to read this to you because I thought it was like I had been thinking about this. Did you guys watch the movie WALL-E? Yeah, very few people have. Oh my gosh, you guys, you have to watch this movie WALL-E. So WALL-E, he's on a quest. There was way too much garbage on the earth. People of the earth, they said, we don't know what to do with this planet because there's so much garbage. And people have just gotten out of hand and they just throw garbage everywhere. And once used to be a thriving earth, but it wasn't a thriving earth anymore. And it was so filled with garbage. So the whole movie is focused on WALL-E, and he's on the quest to save the planet. Really, we shouldn't be focusing on WALL-E. We should be focusing on what's happening to the people. So these people, they go and they get up in the spaceship and they go this spaceship. There's a couple of them, but they focus on this one spaceship. Really, I feel like kind of like a prelude to the pandemic that we've been in. There's so much trash on there. They all get stuck on this ship. What do? They just sit around. They don't do anything. There's no movement. All of a sudden, people start getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And then there's this mega corporation. It's called BNL, B-U-I, buy in large. I was thinking of Costco. Like, I got to be careful when we go to Costco, because there's only 3 of us. I can't buy in large on everything, right? I have maybe toilet paper, but I've got to be mindful on what I'm using. So by and large, and they took over the whole place and they assumed control over the entire economy. So, but listen to this. You have to get this in your mind because it was just so mind-blowing to me. I thought, wow, we are really living like this in our lives today. They get morbidly obese. They float around on these hover chairs and appear to be completely oblivious to their surroundings. Well, what's going on? So during the pandemic, what went on? We're stuck in the house, no movement. They say that obesity rose 35%. Okay, so that's a lot. So let me just read you this little bit. As the humans appear to be trapped in B&L's, which is by and large bubble, they look and listen to ads all day long. They drink B&L foods. They never leave their hover chairs. The activity on the Aximum, which is the spaceship's name, appeal to be fun, like golf, tennis, swimming, and most of the time sports like that. They never left their chairs. So what they're doing is they're punching the little buttons and they're playing like video games because all of the robots are actually playing them. So what happens? That's video games. All of our kids are sitting in front of the TV. See how crazy that is? I mean, like, this is why we have a pandemic for obesity. We got to get this under control. I just woke up and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just like WALL-E. So if you haven't watched the movie WALL-E, you really have to watch the movie because it is so good. And you'll understand more of what I'm talking about then. But then what happens after obesity? Different things start happening, right? Well, diabetes happens. So many people are struggling with diabetes. Here's the statistics on diabetes. 2021 CDC report, 34.2 million Americans have diabetes. So that's 10% of our population. 88 million, okay, so that's 34 million that have diabetes. They've been diagnosed. 88 million are pre-diabetic. That's 27% of the population. So that's a total of 37% of the US population that's battling with diabetes, whether it's pre-diabetes or diabetes, actually. So if we have 329 million people just in the US alone, that's actually 37% of that. Where are we going to go in the next 30 years or 50 years? If that's how much of a pandemic that we're having with diabetes as well. So it's so important that we actually begin to get this under control in our weight. The thing is that it's all about movement. It's all about our gut health. It's all about educating people. And that's why we're doing what we're doing today is we want to educate people. We want to be a support to them, but we also want to educate them on how we can band together, how we can educate you and tell you how important your gut is to get your gut in good and working condition. So this morning, I want to introduce my friend Sharon. We haven't been running together for very long, but I am super excited. She has a passion just like I do about the natural ways. She's gotten her hands on our enzymes and what it is for gut health. And so she's just going to share a little bit, and I'm super excited to hear from her. So, and I know you guys will be too. So take it away, Sharon.
Awesome. Thank you, Shelley. And Shelley didn't get a very good introduction, but Tom and Shelley are the top earners in Washington State for the products that we're going to share. They have been doing missions overseas for both their church and Trinant. They've been featured in wealth magazines, traditional business owners. But what I get so excited about is seeing that 5 years ago, Trinant got a hold of their heart. And now we have this phenomenal community. It's so fun to be working with Shelley. What's funny is she goes through the statistics. We all read these every day, but yet I personally don't do anything about it. I'm vegan. I've got a good lifestyle. I'm not putting a lot of these things in my body. If I take care of my body now, then it will stave off some of those things like high blood pressure and gout, etc. So for me, this really hits because I thought I was doing everything okay. But what's really important about gut health and enzyme is you want something in your body, because at our age, as we get older, there's less good enzymes in our gut to digest the foods we're eating. So even me with my vegan lifestyle, there are processed really good vegan foods, right? I'm not eating, my brother thinks I eat twigs and nuts. He said, no, Tom, there's other things that I eat being vegan, but you need enzymes to break these down, because if you think about it, I can't just take an apple and put it onto my body. We have to break it down so it can be absorbed. So if you look at what we eat today, vegan, non-vegan, whatever your lifestyle is, we've gotten away from the garden. And I was thinking this morning, remember the old days when our grandmas and mothers would say an apple a day keeps the doctor away? Well, that used to be true, because back in the day when you would get an apple, it had lots more nutrients than what we're getting today in our diet. We've gotten so far away from the garden and really rich soil. So for me, just thinking about all the things that we eat that are cooked and processed at really high heats, which cooks out all the nutrients. So if you're like me and maybe not going to think about dramatically changing what you eat, then let's dramatically change how you break it down. And that's what this plant enzyme is that can help us break down those foods. So on the next slide, Shelley, look at all those good meals. Look at that salad down there. Kind of what I was talking about with these plant-based enzymes. And guess what else I've learned since I've gotten I found Trinant 2 years ago, and I've been using these products for 2 years exclusively. I don't use Neosporin. I don't use pain medication. I use all Trinant products. But one of the things that's really important is a lot of people, maybe some of you on the phone might even say, well, I already take a good enzyme. I already take a good supplement. 95% of the supplements that are on the market today are synthetic and processed in laboratories. 95%. So what's really different about this enzyme, it is a full spectrum plant-based enzyme. And you'll find this throughout that high level of quality throughout all of our products. But again, it helps ensure good digestion. It's going to get these foods that we're putting into our gut, because if we're still going to go have a burger or a taco at fast food, you need it to break down as much as it can. And our plant enzyme breaks it down to the smallest molecular level. So think about that. It's absorbing out into the body and doing what it's supposed to do. On average, Harvard did a study. Most people walking the earth have 5 to 20 pounds of undigested food in their GI tract. We hear a lot about probiotics, then prebiotics has become important. Our product has both. It's going to remove waste, supports the pancreas so it doesn't have to work as much. And again, for me, this live 30% longer, I absolutely believe this, because I know now that if I take these enzymes and break it down and help my body do it the most. And what's really funny, when I started to double up on the enzyme, I can hear it working in my stomach. Not an embarrassing amount. You don't have to stay in your home, but I can hear it working once I started to take more of these supplements. So I know that what I'm doing now and what I believe this product will do, and thousands of people have the same testimony, some on this call, that it will help you prevent, hopefully, some of those scenarios. So that's something that I feel passionate about, is take it as a proactive measure if you don't feel you have certain conditions. But if you do have certain conditions, like Shelley mentioned, whether it's diarrhea, gout, any digestion, IBS, then this Enrich product is really a phenomenal product. And Shelley, I see you now. Were you going to make a statement? Because I know you personally have a great testimony about Enrich.
I do, actually.
And Tom has a great testimony.
I battled my whole entire life with constipation. So I've never actually taken any medications before, but doesn't mean that I didn't battle with things. So constipation was an issue for me, and I always find different things. Maybe I would be on this supplement, but it would end up working for only about 30 days, and that would be the max. And so I got so frustrated because it was a constant battle, and stomach issues, bloating, it hurt so bad. And so I got to the point where I was just discouraged all the time. But what I didn't realize too is that I had so much inflammation in my body. I mean, literally, Tom couldn't even touch my skin. It just hurt so bad. I didn't know what it was. I was ignorant to it all. So once we started on this journey, and Tom has his own journey too, once we started taking enzymes, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to the bathroom every single day. This is amazing. Make a long story short, I was not convinced until I was into 90 days, and I was still going to the bathroom every single day because things had worked for like 30 days before. But I tell you what, no more inflammation in my body. You can touch my skin, push on it. I'm going to the bathroom every single day. And I have to tell you, I'm 56, no medications, and I feel the best that I have ever felt in my entire life. And I'm not a hype person. I mean, if it's real, it's real. And it's real to me.
When I started learning more about the Enrich enzyme, I was only taking one a day for good measure. And when I started to read more and more through the pandemic and floating in my chair, doing Netflix binging over the holidays, since I doubled up, taking 2 before each meal, I lost 8 pounds in 5 weeks. So yeah, I mean, I didn't intend to lose weight. I just thought, wow, I really need to beef up how much I'm taking. Anyway, I think we have a demo on here, and we did this the other night with Patty, and one of her clients that sat in just, said, wow. But what we've done is, if you guys think about the snack pack pudding, it is sticks in the bowl. You can turn it upside down. It was really good when we were kids. But what we do in this demo, and we've sped it up, I think this is typically 90 seconds to 2 minutes, but open a container of snack pack, and we do these demos live all the time. Take one plant enzyme, take it out, dump it in there, stir it up. And you guys know how rich and creamy these are. That's why we love them. But look at what this enzyme is doing real time, except sped up from the 90 seconds. You can visually see it breaking down the pudding. I challenge any of you to take the current enzyme. If you're on a digestive enzyme, try this. See if you can see it work before your eyes. This is why my stomach gurgles now when I've taken 2 before each meal, because I know it's breaking down that food. So after just about 2 minutes, look at the consistency now. And people joke, no, that won't be how it comes out of your body. It's not a diuretic. It's not going to cause you to have constant bathroom situations. It's going to break down the food so that it normalizes and regulates your elimination. So, I mean, we just do this all day long. It works every single time, right out of the enzyme.
We have tried a number of different enzymes with the same snack pack pudding, and one of them was over $120 and couldn't break it down. We let it sit there for 8 hours and still could not break it down. So we know the power of what we have behind our enzymes, and it's a full spectrum. So that makes it even more valuable to us. Becky, maybe, I know I'm putting you on the spot, but maybe you might want to share about your testimony on enzyme.
Probably a couple things. One is,
first of all, can I stop you for a second? How old are you?
I'm 72.
72. See, I say that because you know what? It's working for everybody, for babies all the way up to 80s and 90-year-olds. Okay. And animals as well. So yes, Becky, share your story, please.
I think for me, the first realization was I didn't realize how much it was helping me until one day I ran out of my enzymes. And then I realized what it was doing for me. So I never want to run out of the enzymes again. Sometimes you don't know what you don't know. And so that was kind of my testimony. I feel so much better when I take it. And then the other testimony in our household is my husband. He had a massive brain bleed from an accident 2 years ago. Lots of life and death situations since then, which means the doctors loaded him up with all kinds of drugs, and which causes you to be constipated and miserable. And so these enzymes were crucial in his recovery and getting him back to normal and to put him on the path of healing. So it literally is life and death in some situations.
Yeah, that's true. So I want to just answer Jenna Lee's. She asked, can she give it to her dog because it has acid reflux problems? And yes, you can give it to your animals. This is, babies can take this. I know firsthand, my husband's cousin, anyways, her daughter had a baby, just colicky, couldn't take her mom's breast milk, had the mom pump the breast milk, drop half an enzyme in there. And I tell you what, that baby had no problems whatsoever. I mean, what's the best for babies is their mother's breast milk, right? But obviously she started out with low count of lactase enzymes, so she couldn't actually break the milk products down. Another area that's important and that we hear a lot of is arthritis. Arthritis is no problem for enzymes to be breaking, our enzymes to be breaking the arthritis down. All arthritis is uric acid, is a protein that isn't being broke down. So our enzymes will actually break down those proteins. That is so common for us to be able to see arthritis gone in a matter of a very short period of time. I do have to say too, we don't treat, diagnose, prevent, or cure for anyone, any of our products. We don't tell people that, but we can share our testimonies. We can tell them what the products have done for us. And so that's what we do. We don't know everything. Well, okay, don't tell my husband that because I know everything according to him. All right. So don't tell him because I'm always right. No, just teasing. No, we don't know everything. We're all on this journey together. And this is why we're doing this, because we want to get people educated. We want to get them on a better health journey. We want to get them to make better decisions in life. We want them to set goals. I'm in the process of setting goals myself. I want to be one of those ones. I don't want to be one of those people, just like I always tell my daughter, I'm not afraid to do anything that I tell you to do, okay? Or I haven't done it and I'm telling you to do something. I want to be the example. We are all influencers. We get to influence the world today that we live in. And that is so exciting for me anyways, because I'm passionate about it. I was telling Sharon last night, I'm like a research junkie, you know, always, because I love to be able to share with people just the knowledge that I know. And if I can help one person that's on here today, that is exciting to me. I don't have to change the world because I'm not going to change the world, but I can start with one person and we can do a ripple effect. That's the journey that we're on, and we're educating people that way. We're educating people. There are other ways than the pharmaceutical ways. Doctors aren't bad, but if I broke my arm, I'm going to go to the doctor to have them reset my arm, okay, and put it in a cast. I'm not against doctors. The time span that they get for the natural ways in all of their education, I believe is what I've heard is about 8 hours of natural ways. And to me, that is so sad. Like Sharon was talking about, get back to the garden, get back to plant-based food. We have stairs. I run up and down my stairs, you know, all the time. I don't run down my stairs. Actually, I run up my stairs because I think it's important. And I purposely don't hang on to the handrail running up my stairs because I think, you know, I should get that endurance going. Maybe it's wintertime and I can't get out, or maybe it's a pandemic and they won't let me out, but I can do what I can do around my house rather than being those Wally people, not Wally, but you know what I'm saying, sitting in my chair and all the time, because I've had that lifestyle. I'm a bookkeeper by trade. So I sit. Well, what did I do? I made a decision to buy one of those desks that go up and down. So I'm not sitting all the time and then killing my back. Just little changes in our lives can make a huge difference. I see Angie drinking her water. Are you drinking your water? Yes. See, I mean, so those are the things that we need to be doing and being examples to people. Thank you for being on here today. We have some other products that have totally changed our lives as well. And I'll just share them with you for a real quick second here. I want to be respectful of people's time. So here in about 5 minutes or so, we'll be done. So here's a few other products that we have. Whoever has invited you, you guys can get with the person that's invited you, but we have things that will deal with the gut issues, IBS, acid reflux, constipation. We have skin products that will actually help with skin, our collagen, amazing collagen, it's pharmaceutical grade collagen, type 1 hydrolyzed collagen, joint and inflammation issues. If you have that, if you have heart issues, we have a nitric oxide that enlarges the blood vessels and makes them pliable. That's what we want. And a quick testimony on that is people are battling with COVID. You want something like our Boost, because our Boost actually improves the blood flow. I have had people with oxygen levels of 70. That's like almost death. Within 24 hours, it's raised to 90%. You want that stuff like that. I mean, my mother-in-law was just here battling COVID. Again, we're not immune and live in this bubble that we're not going to have things happen to us in life. It's just how the treatment is on how we get through that journey. And so we got her on all the natural ways. And of course, she believes in the Boost and all of our product, but we did so much where she could have easily went to the hospital, been put on a ventilator. And we know all the horror stories and we've heard them all. And I feel so bad for people that have chosen, some of them have chosen to go that direction. We have things for building our immune system. And I honestly believe, even with my mother-in-law, if she hadn't been taking our vitamin C, which is from acerola cherries, it's organic acerola cherries, and vitamin D in our K blend, again, collagen, we have CBD products. CBD are amazing because there's so many people that, and so much new findings, studies on CBD, the world of CBD, but there's so much CBD garbage out there too. And so we really want to get our bodies back in alignment and balance. CBD can really, really help with that. We have meal replacement shakes. I shared that. I'm doing that. I hate most of the meal replacement shakes, okay? They taste like nothing or garbage, or they taste too proteiny, chalky, whatever. Ours, oh my gosh, they are amazing. I'm drinking one right now, and I have not gotten tired of this since it's been out. I love our coconut cream. We have a good for you coffee. It's all the MTC brain food. MTC oil is so good for you. They're talking about Alzheimer's, and if you're adding MTC oil, that will help rid off a lot of these things. MTC oil is so good for you. We have a toothpaste. I never thought I'd get excited about a toothpaste that has nano silver and nano gold. You'll find ones that have nano silver in, but you won't find them that have nano silver and nano gold. It's specific to our company, and it has an extra protection around the teeth. So there's so many things that we have that are just amazing to our company. We've wrapped, some of us here online have wrapped a business around it. Our first position is a Jeep position. It is so easy to get to the Jeep position. Sharon got to it right away, and there's others on here that are at that position as well. There's bonuses, customer base, if even just selling to somebody, maybe they don't want to do the business, but maybe they're just interested in some products. They pay 50% commission. You don't have to hit a certain rank, 50% commission on customer base. I mean, I get checks in every week. That's amazing to me. Tom and I do. There's a bonus program, 10 and 3. You get 10 customers and 3 associates, and they'll pay you in 1 month. And you can do it several times a month. I know at least 2 times a month, maybe 3. Every single time you do it. Sharon, you just got this last month, $1,000. She got 10 customers and 3 associates. You want to share a quick share on that?
Yeah, I mean, listen, some people say to me when I share this, they're like, well, I'm not a salesperson. I'm like, but all you have to do is share what worked for you. If you have relationships and you've had good benefits and you like to converse with people, that's really how easy it is, because everybody has a scenario and maybe they don't want to share it with you. It's too personal, but everybody's battling something. So for me, all you have to do is reach out and say, gosh, I saw that you had just had surgery. Listen, I just wanted to share. And people respond because they're looking for something that's plant-based. They trust me because they know if I've used it and I'm having good results. So yeah, it's really fun. It's the most rewarding thing I've ever done in my life. Yeah.
Yeah. I have a friend that's in Montana, and she has battled with diabetes. And so I talked to her about the enzymes, because the truth is that if the enzymes are breaking down the sugars, then our pancreas doesn't have to create the insulin that it needs. You're not living with those highs and lows of the sugar highs and lows. And so our enzymes will actually break it down. We are seeing so many people either reduce or drastically get off of their medications of enzymes, and many are getting off of their medications, the insulin. She just purchases the enzymes. She has just done that for, I don't know, 3 years. She lives in Montana. I'm trying to see that open door so that I can share other products with her, because I know she needs other products, but she sees the beauty and they work in the enzymes. And that has been a 3-year journey that every month she just orders those enzymes, bottle those enzymes. We're here for you. We love what we do. We love helping people. It is exciting. I'm just going to open it up just for a couple minutes on if anyone has any comments or questions, feel free. We can answer anything, and maybe even a couple of the associates, if they want to just share something, we're open.
I'll share.
Okay.
So this morning I had a hankering for eggs. I can't eat eggs, especially if they're store-bought. And I grew up very Italian, very, very much garden to table. My mother was a true farmer from Italy, the whole thing. So we never had processed foods, never had canned foods, anything like that. As soon as I got married, and I've been married for 22 years, we started having kids, totally went away from it because it was all convenience.
Right.
So, and the eggs, we had our own chickens and ducks and rabbits. So it was never an issue for me. So now the eggs that we use now, if I can't find a farm that has actual farm eggs, I can't have them. And this morning I wanted eggs. I wanted my eggs, and I wanted them over easy, and I wanted my gluten-free toast. I wanted all of it because I can't really have it all the time. So, and I didn't take the enzymes. Okay, Sharon, you know. So right away it was about maybe 5 or 10 minutes after eating. I didn't have my morning coffee yet, so I can't blame it on the coffee, none of that. And I just started having pain, and I was like, oh gosh, here we go. So I just went right away to the Enrich, took the Enrich. My coffee cup is filled with water. And I just sat down and I was like, okay, I'm just going to deal with this. And I'm fine. I'm completely fine.
Yeah.
So, and usually you can ask my husband, you can ask my children. Well, one son now.
Me, I've seen it. I've witnessed.
Yes.
Yes.
And I literally get doubled over, and I think I'm going to spend 45 minutes in the bathroom. And yeah, I
That's
did.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yay. So just remember to take them before. It's so hard.
I know.
Yes.
I
That's
take
awesome.
my Renew every day, and I take the Glow every single day. And I've been doing that since I started, and I love it. And just taking those two, just so we're clear, I'm down 4 pounds and I haven't changed anything. So the Enrich, I usually take it as soon as I know I'm going to eat something that is not okay with me.
You're just learning how powerful our enzymes are. Yeah, and the beauty of taking them on consistently. Being consistent is good. So thank you for that testimony. I appreciate that. Anyways, well, thank you so much, ladies, for coming on this morning. And if you're new and you're a guest and you have further questions, just get with the person that's invited you. We're doing these twice a month. It's going to be a different topic every month, and we're super excited. 2022 going to be a good year. It's going to be a great year, and we're going to proclaim it. It's all about the mindset and setting our little goals and putting some things into place. So thanks for joining us. Have a blessed day today.